to see Darrell
Bust a move.
dancing and doing the jingle jingle song.
Why? I
Everybody
don't think I can recall that song. Jingle jiggle.
You can't recall it.
No. I mean, tell me those lyrics, or is this like a family-friendly show?
My
where
money
those
don't jingle
lyrics are
jingle.
not-
It folds.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to see you wiggle wiggle, for sure.
Faux show. And what was the accent that we were trying to copy beforehand too, where we don't say the R's? Forced? Where's that from?
You were saying Forrest.
Well, that's because, it's one of the
Forrest
famous...
Gump?
Forrest Gump. Forrest? No?
No.
Don't even know where that's from.
The movie Forrest Gump?
I know
Is that what you're talking about?
Watched
I
that
don't know what you're
14
saying.
times the first year it came out. Oh, well, where else am I going to learn my American history?
I don't know. We
It
produced
was accurate, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Faux show.
For sure. Or you could just watch the play Hamilton and
No, I haven't.
learn all about presidential politics.
In a musical sense?
Yeah, that's another rap thing. We're just talking about rap today.
Hamilton has a rap?
Hamilton. I mean, that's all it is. It's
Oh, like when you get people who are great actors but terrible singers and they just speak their lyrics out in
no.
rhythmic ways.
It was pretty much all. I mean, it was rap. Did you see the Hamilton musical?
No.
Okay, that's probably why. I get it now. I see your ignorance is showing, Darrell, and that's okay.
No, it's fine. If
Ignorance
Taika
is
Waititi
fine.
didn't direct it, then I'm not interested. Come on.
See, last time we talked about Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. Now we're bringing it into Marvel and Thor Love and Thunder, which is sort of days away.
So I watched Doctor Strange in the Universe of Madness.
Wow.
That was the oddest Marvel movie I think I've ever seen. I don't know how people feel about that, but that was just and I know some people who watched that movie as one of their first Marvel movies. And I went,
Oh, wow.
so I finally saw it and I went, there's no way that made any sense to you. And you might be frightened to watch any of the other Marvel movies.
Yeah.
That thing was a horror movie.
Well, it was directed by someone who's done horrors.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and
But I
there's
was like,
lots of
wow,
Sam
this is...
someone, and there were hints to some of the like little Easter eggs of hints of other movies that he's done before.
Really? Yeah, it was a lot of... I mean, it was... I could tell that, I mean, it was horror and it was... There's lots of dark themes going on in that movie.
Sam
and it was-
Raimi. Thank
there
you,
we go.
Phil. Yeah, let's just... where's that chat
Yeah,
button?
Phil
thing?
and Jamie. Yeah. Yeah, it was... I mean, it was some dark themes.
Well, yeah, and Strange is Strange. It's living up to the name. I'm just struggling with Scarlet Witch being a bad person, and like I don't know if I can wrap my head around all the multiverse stuff either. It's just too hard, right?
It's strange.
It really is. Well done. Well, we're at time. Let's get
Let's do
on with it. That's the outro. Let's click the right one. Well done. I'm just sorry. I'm responding to like Sandy in the chat is a Benedict Cumberbatch fan, so absolutely. BC is the bee's knees.
I
Used to think he was weird, but I love him. He's cool.
Yeah, I think he's great. That movie though, I hope that's not the thread we're going to keep going down.
Who knows?
Welcome everyone to this week's jam-packed episode of the 365 Message Center Show. This is episode 244, and we have quite a few messages and updates. But first, as always, we want to make sure that you're following us on all the socials. We are 365 MCS on Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn, TikTok.
And TikTok now. Whoa.
Yes.
Hey, Dad, are you making a TikTok?
So we also, can you just give us a thumbs up wherever you're seeing this video or hearing this audio? Give us a like and give us a share. I've asked a couple times, and I'm a little disappointed in our audience. We have several hundred across the audio and video that listen to us. I'm a bit disappointed in the amounts of shares. Just take the link of this thing and share it on Twitter, Insta.
You're not discussing ratios, are you? Like those terrible...
No, I'm not talking about ratios. I'm just talking about, hey, let's join in the fun and have a great chat room. Anyway, I'll stop fussing now. Please give us a share.
Fine. It's fine. Look, thank you, Evan, for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Jam-packed show, because, well, you know what we should have talked about pre-live was your around the US in 80 days, or was it 80 hours? I forget. You took a long time to get home from...
I didn't want to talk about it, honestly. So
PTSD?
That's probably why we didn't. Yes. I don't want to minimize real PTSD, but
no.
It was traumatic for me. You know, I was stuck on the west coast of the U.S. for a couple days, several canceled flights and all that kind of stuff. So it was interesting for me, and it reminds me that I have not yet filed for reimbursement from the airlines. So I need to do that today.
My job is done.
Thank you.
Excellent. Hey, let's move on to our first message.
Let's do it. And, you know, I think you should coach us up a little bit, Darrell, on presenting.
Yeah.
Speaking.
No, I look, I can get all the help I can get, really. Speaker coach within Microsoft Teams meetings, MC394785. It's our headline for the episode, but I thought it would be an interesting one just to take a closer look. Well, Daniel, have you tried Presenter Coach within PowerPoint?
I have, and it fussed at me a lot.
That's why I haven't tried it. I'm a bit afraid that it will fuss at me a lot. Great feature of PowerPoint where you can turn on Speaker Coach and get all kinds of advice, like slowing down your speech, if you're repeating words, if your tone is monotonous all the time and very boring. There's also something where you can even turn it on and it checks to see whether you're engaging people with the camera, which definitely has become an important thing when you're presenting online. But these sorts of goodies are now going to be available within a Teams meeting, that you can turn it on, and they've in the language here of the message, they're definitely trying to say that, don't worry, this advice that you're seeing popping up is just for you. I will just try and show this in a full screen because it's worth seeing. So for those on the podcast, what I'm doing is we're showing a screenshot of in the meeting experience of getting speaker coaching. Your coaching will appear in the top middle of the screen. So this is where your webcam might be if it's built into your laptop or if you've put your webcam there. So that way you can have eye contact, but you can get some of that advice just below the camera. And one of the ones that, like it's shown on screen, is slow down a bit. But another useful one in a meeting is it will tell you who you may have interrupted. And the interesting thing about this feature is it's not just for people who are presenting, but also you can turn it on just to give yourself a bit of confidence and participating in meetings. And a feature like that, where you might have interrupted someone, could be good advice. What do you think, Daniel?
Indeed, I think so. And helping the discord of the conversation that's going, and helping people to be able to celebrate what people's ideas, but also making sure that we're giving an opportunity for other voices to be heard, and also making it clear when we're speaking, right? And if we're speaking too fast, sometimes can make it to where people don't have time to process what we just said before we move on to the next thing, and that can help with communication.
You get this great little report at the end too, and that's directly within Teams. It's attached as a tab within the meeting. a speaker coach tab. And this is personal private advice for yourself, so it's not the rest of your team going to see it, but you can see that there, and you got to switch there to start it automatically within meetings. But yeah, so Sandy, I would probably be dinged on the interruption thing a lot. I think I would be too. So don't worry, you're not going to be the only guilty one there. I'd also be worried about getting too much advice, and then I'd be giving more attention to the advice than the camera.
Well, I've been kind of distracted, Darrell, with, I don't know if distracted is the right word, but things, with chat bubble showing up there.
Yeah.
That's going on in the chat, as well as you have 5 minutes left. I mean, that's kind of a good distraction to help you wrap up your meeting, but just some more messages there. So I think we just need to start paying attention to that more.
Yeah, and with that, I'll wrap up the message, just saying that it is it's rolling out early July, expected to be complete late July. Moving on to, this next message is conditional on certain things.
Microsoft lists calendar view conditional formatting, MC 394263. And, that could have said also SharePoint Modern, right? Calendar view conditional formatting, because that's what this is. This is going to allow you to go into the format for the current view and have conditional formatting, just like you can on Microsoft List columns for other list types in the calendar view, and have it conditional formatting for those items that are going to show up on the calendar. This is going to roll out standard release mid-June, so last weekish, and expected to be completed by end of June, so nowish. So you should be able to, most people should be able to see this in Microsoft List calendar view right now. So you're going to be able to create rules for the field, and be able to manage those rules in that setting. So I would highly suggest, if you're using calendar views in your organization, there are some organizations that really use calendar views a lot, or did back in the classic SharePoint days, when you could do some of this formatting. You could add different calendars in one view, and they would be color coded. This is bringing that functionality really to the modern experience in Microsoft List calendar view. So Microsoft List, Darrell, a lot. Is it just
very rarely? Yeah. But I can see how conditional formatting will help to draw attention to certain types of events. I think at a glance.
Exactly. I think it helps at a glance to see what's going on. This could, if you do have a calendar for educational events in your organization, or an intranet calendar, that shows a calendar for your whole organization, you could have conditional formatting on what type of event that's coming up. So I think it's helpful. Love to hear what those in our chat room think. We've got quite a few here. So Pete actually asks if items will automatically inherit the choice option formatting. That is a really good question, Pete. I don't think it will. If you're asking if, in one view, if you have formatting, if I have a calendar view, will it pick that up? I don't think it will, but I would love to see you try and ping us on social with your results. That would be awesome. So,
the great
so
social.
Yeah, that's out now. Our social is 365 MCS, by the way, for those.
Right.
Let's keep with a modern theme, will you?
Well, yeah, and we used to have a section in the show called Quick Mentions. Now we just interleave it. This is definitely a quick mention, but a worthy one. Microsoft modern meetings and calls on Teams web clients, MC 393821. So it is about equalizing or getting the web client experience closer in a Teams meeting. And just to say, like, again, I'll just throw up a quick screenshot. Whoa, this is a small one. Huh. Not too helpful there. But, the bar that we had that would pop up over the top of a meeting, and you could use it to control audio and sharing and things like that. That is now being shifted up to the top of the screen to be the same as the Teams desktop experience. And just a few other things around the layouts too that will be available, those dynamic layouts. So there'll be a few there that are available within the web client. Not the full experience, not the same, not identical, because there are some smarts that happen in the Teams client on your desktop. But it's good to have some consistency, certainly helpful for people who support this experience and would like to try and make it a way of working together. So this is rolling out mid-June, complete in early July. Remember, some of these messages are 2 weeks old because we missed a show last week. So we can't ping them and say, hey, man, you gave us a late notice and this thing arrived and we didn't get any ability to... We didn't get to say the change manager's serenity prayer. No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to that. But yeah, moving on. We've got, you take it. I can't come up with anything.
You could have
Segways are
said,
not my thing.
We've got some improvements?
True.
This one is improvements to SharePoint Pages authoring column reflow and RSS connector web part. MC3938823. I think some of this is improvement, but others might see it as not. So this one it's a, 4-parter, I think. So they kind of crammed all this together. This is a targeted release rolling out late June, so nowish through late, and will be completed in late June, so nowish. And then standard release early July. With a completion mid-July. So first up is changes to 2 columns reflow. I'm fairly confused on this one, so Darrell, maybe you can fill us in. I'll keep moving and then we can come back to it. But the second one I actually like a lot. This is taking the vertical section. So if you have a SharePoint page, you can have a vertical section that goes full length of the page and has web parts, that you can put on there. Previously, when you were on a mobile or you shrunk the size, it moved it to the bottom. And so it kind of said, well, everything else is going to start off and then the vertical will be at the bottom. Sometimes, though, that vertical stuff is what you want to emphasize on your page. So you would want to, have it at the top. So this is going to allow you to do that, top or bottom, and configure that. More room for page editing in Microsoft Teams. So when you're editing a page in SharePoint, having that edit experience be full page, be that full screen experience, I love it. We don't need the other stuff going on while we're editing the page. So I really like that. Now, I will say, I don't agree with that first sentence. Maybe I'm wrong here. It could be that I'm not keeping up with change very well, but it says last year we enabled the ability to author SharePoint pages directly in Teams. Shouldn't that be edit SharePoint pages in Teams? Because we can't create still SharePoint pages in Teams, right? Or am I...
Yeah, well, no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, because it's framed around the page. We don't get the bar with all the tools.
I'm just making sure I wasn't imagining things. Maybe those in the chat room can
correct you.
Tell me, hey, Daniel, you're totally wrong. Of course you can do that. And that's great. We're here as a community to help each other. So anyway, I like the full screen experience to be able to edit. That's great because there's just so much going on in Teams anyway, that we're in this space already that's got a top and a sidebar.
When you full screen, it should put you into a do not disturb mode. That would be kind of cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'm authoring. Leave me alone.
Yes, that would be so amazing. Not a busy, but do not disturb. That would be great. And then lastly is the changes to the RSS connector. Now, this is the one where I'm like, I don't know if this is an improvement. Basically, they're saying they're going to limit you to having a limit of 10 items that are going to show from an RSS feed. I actually think it's okay. I think you show more than that, it's really too busy anyway. But it's taking away from the experience rather than giving you more stuff. So that's why I was like improvements, because some may say this as is not an improvement.
Hey, back to that
Yes,
two-column reflow. That's just when you're using a two-column section, and
Yep.
you might want to text your way through, and it reflows to the top and over to the side. So I think it's just about authoring content and making it reflow, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The confusing part to me was, does it? I've never, in my mind, I didn't think it worked this way. It says that when your screens were larger, it would collapse it to a single column.
Yep, yep.
Getting confused, but just I would like to see those. And again, we can go back to the chat and go back on social or comments after the show if you have thoughts on this. Would love to hear from you. So this should be rolling out now for us to, in the targeted release. You should probably have it now, and then standard will be coming very, very soon. Let's talk about.
Well,
let's
these are
have a
quickfire
section.
ones, aren't they?
What's that?
These are quickfire ones, really.
Yes. Let's talk about e-signatures.
Yep. Yeah, this ability to be able to sign things off and send through contracts and agreements and all sorts of stuff. Depending on what provider you have chosen, this has been something you can bring into the Teams experience. In these next few, it's all about e-signatures and approvals, but in this case, it's fully embedded within Teams so that you can go through the whole process of signing, agreeing, creating, as Daniel will say. Maybe I've just taken the thunder out of your message, but not having to go to this third-party experience, that it's been brought in for you into Teams, so you can just get on with it. So that is rolling out to late June and fully rolled out by late July. One that comes to mind, I think, is the Adobe eSign, but I think DocuSign might be in there as well. Daniel, tell us about the other two, because they're kind of the same thing, all in the same picture.
Well, kinda. It's so the first one is e-signature approvals on mobile create requests. This is MC392292. And then the next one is e-signature approvals on mobile view and take action. MC392293. So just as you explained, in the approvals app, being able to view, so be able to create requests on mobile, which is nice. I love having functionality on mobile, so I'm not tied to my laptop or my desktop. So being able to create those requests and then also view and take action on requests in walking through those processes. So this will help, I believe, in a lot of those frontline type of experiences, whether it's retail or service industry, even manufacturing can help with sign off on things that are happening on the floor where you may be mobile. So I think this could most certainly help with that, but also could help with anyone. The famous, or infamous, I don't know, the story I tell about e-signatures and being mobile is I had to sign something in the old school days in an airport on my phone. I had to pull it up and sign it with my finger on my little bitty device and do it. It wasn't great experience, but I had to at that moment right before I boarded a plane. There was no it needed to be done immediately. And I think of those kind of experiences that this could help with. Really quick, get it done on your mobile would be very helpful. Don't you think? Bringing that.
I'm trying to imagine the creation experience, that you're not going to get the elaborate sign here, here, and here and fill this out experience. It's more about, here's the item that I want you to approve. So that, I would believe, is the creation experience. And then the view and take action, similar kind of thing. It is some of it being driven by like a workflow in the background. But yeah. Um, good to see.
Indeed. Yes,
Uh,
indeed.
Hey, this one, Daniel. This one is more of a oops, we let something out again, and now we're telling you about it. This is updates to updates in Microsoft Teams allows users to create, submit, and review employee updates. If that's not a confusing title, then I'll eat my hat.
Whoa.
I've got a few hats over there. It is confusing because it is talking about the Updates app, which an app that you can use to share updates with people within your team, with managers and the like. And that was released and just appeared in our experience. And the messaging, it was a messaging app, and its default was on. Our team are using it now as just trialing it to see as a way of replacing stand-ups. But it is it's interesting. It's using forms and Power Automate, I think, in the background, so that you can create a form and say, this is what I want everyone to fill out, required and not required fields, and who's allowed to review it and who's not allowed to review it. Excuse me, and whether they're scheduled and recurring. But they're kind of quite useful for, I think that where they promoted it initially was in a manufacturing frontline worker blog post. But of course, it's got other uses in other places too. So that has appeared. I created a video on it if you want to sort of hunt that out. I'll drop it in the show notes or whatever. But it's kind of useful. Daniel, have you tried out updates?
I have not, so I'm looking forward to doing that.
It's a good first run. I think there's still a few rough edges in the way that it works. I had hoped that I could create an update and share it with all team members. Not necessarily everyone gets a notification, but be able to create awareness of, okay, this is what I'm up to this week. But it's actually a bit more involved than that. You've got to choose a reviewer for each person that you want to receive the update notification. So yeah, lots of fun. But take a closer look at that.
Oh, I definitely will, because managing a team and understanding what's going on, that sounds good for me. It'll be fun. Yeah. I'll take a look.
Well,
next
go ahead
up
with Viva topics.
Let's switch topics here. Did you see what I did there?
I did.
Viva topics in Teams, MC391950. And you talked about a confusing title. This is a title of a message that basically, I mean, we could be done, right?
Yeah.
They're bringing Viva topics done. So this is what you hear. They're bringing Viva topics in Teams, rolling out public preview, yes, in April, and will continue the rollout through June. So just now coming into the Message Center. And then completed the rollout through late June to public preview. And then general availability will start in late June, so now-ish through late July. And then GCC will early July through late August. And this is going to be the ability, when you're in a chat message, to be able to do the hashtag, and tag a topic and select that topic, so that when recipients see it, they will be then able to hover over it and be able to see the content just like you can in SharePoint, right? And in Outlook web, you're going to be able to get that content. This is the continuation. I think Viva Topics is an amazing product and an amazing knowledge gathering kind of device for an organization. It has, the ability to gather knowledge manually. So as you want to build this out, this topic card, this topic page, but then also grabbing it from other places and bringing it into Teams where people are working, right? A very logical next step for Viva Topics. So I'm really looking forward to, we have this in our organization, and I'm really looking forward to start using it.
Nice one. Yeah. We should, whether or not you can talk about it, but it'd be interesting to have a discussion about the benefits to different sizes of organizations and where topics will be helpful. I think, yeah, just as a great knowledge gathering collection mechanism.
Well, it's if you don't consider the price, I think almost any organization can use it. Because any organization has information, documents, conversations going on that is important to gather and connect. That's the other thing, connecting information that may not look like it goes together, but it really should. But you throw price in there, and then you start talking about, well, okay, is this right for every organization and everything? But that's a conversation for another day. The last conversation for this day is about search, image search specifically.
Yeah, image search within Microsoft Whiteboard. Bing image search. MC 391951. The ability to search for a Bing image in a whiteboard and bring it in there. Boom. It's going to be useful for getting inspiration during a meeting, and maybe you're looking and hunting for something that generally fits what you're trying to talk about. Maybe as you're preparing your whiteboard before a meeting, that you could be hunting out and finding the right picture for something. Nice to be able to do this within the board. I think it's going to be more useful, Daniel, for when you're using the board and it's just on that inspiration that you're looking for an image, that you don't have to switch away from the whiteboard experience to find something in Google search or something like that. But this is MC 391951. It's going to be rolling out to the Whiteboard web, Teams, and Windows app. So nice to see it all across the full experience. But that's why they redeveloped the Whiteboard app, and they went back and they based it on Fluid, is that whenever they make a change in one, it's available in all. Starting mid-June, expected to be complete mid-July. There's a few things that you do need to do to prepare for this. Okay. No changes necessary, but they've got a list of things.
That's nice.
There's apparently like a policy for... That's probably the list of policy steps for turning it off if you don't want to use it. Yeah. But yeah, that is about it. I have been using Whiteboard a bit more recently. Saw a good live stream of John Moore and Andy Honeycutt going through the screen share annotations using the Whiteboard technology as well. So it's good to see that beginning to arrive as well. And so Whiteboard's been used quite a bit more, among other things. So Daniel, tell us what sort of things should we be doing to make sure that we keep in touch with when the next show is scheduled? Yeah,
for those on YouTube, make sure that you ring that bell. As the I can't remember who sang that song. Ring my bell. Okay, you should
Tony
ring the
Collette,
bell.
and then it was remixed by Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'm just a telephone call away. You can pick it up and call me any day. Never mind. Okay. We were talking about rap at the beginning of the show. Let's finish on a rap.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yep.
Yes, everyone, make sure. Please go ahead and share right now. Take the URL of this video and share it. If you're listening to audio, you can do the same. Take the URL and just share it out. Or there's a convenient share button below every video and every audio. Click the share button. Share it on Insta. Share it on Twitter. Share it on
Teams.
TikTok and Teams inside your organization. Share it on Facebook, whatever. And make sure you tag us at 365MCS. We will help amplify you and then also your message. Thank you so much for doing that. And thank you, everyone, for joining. We had a lot of messages, but I hope that we gave some value and covering these messages and giving you a little bit of maybe some inspiration on how to use this, or maybe what you should be looking out for when you use it.
All right. Well, until next week, see you again. Bye for now.